And we are back with First Alert meteorologist Mikel Harding, and through the break he was still talking about the Jim Nantz legacy and the insight we got on that interview. And you had heard something interesting about that VIP reception this evening, Mikel, yeah?
Yes, our very own former anchor Richard Rogers was there, and he made a post on his Facebook too, Courtney, so you and I and everyone can check that out too, just with some really cool pictures from the event. And he got a picture with Jim Nantz himself. I saw it, he had a selfie. So,
oh, wow.
Richard, if you're watching, retirement looks good on you, my friend.
Yeah,
so
man.
That was just an amazing event, you know, today in Augusta. So glad that we could be a part of it and get that exclusive interview.
That's right.
But I see we got some earthquakes to talk about too.
I know. So listen, we know about Grovetown, but now there are reports that there's a confirmation for earthquakes happening in Appling. Do we know why?
Yeah, well, no, we do not know why. But what I can say is that I did some research, and there are some faults that run through the area, and it's not too atypical to see earthquakes here periodically. Now, the frequency of them happening, I think we've seen about 5 within the past week or so. That could be a little bit out of the ordinary, but not necessarily an indicator of future things to come. But don't want to get too far into that because I'm not a seismologist, but there is a larger fault near Charleston, South Carolina. They had a major earthquake back in the 1880s. So that's really the only large earthquake that I could see happening within our area within the past couple of decades. But again, don't want to get too far into that, just praying that we don't see anything major, of course, here. But just watching that closely. We are looking at tonight, a live look here, looking towards the 13th Street Bridge. 52 degrees right now outside, west-northwest winds at about 5 miles an hour, so a little bit of a breeze out there. It'll be chilly for the start tomorrow. Check out Saluda, possibly in the upper 30s tomorrow morning. So our very rural locations maybe could touch the upper 30s briefly for tomorrow, but not overly concerned about frost or anything like that, especially with a little bit of wind. That would make it harder for that frost to be able to form at the surface on any grass. But we're looking at a chilly start, a little bit of wind in the morning, and the winds will be out of the northeast for tomorrow. So a little bit of a cooler component to the wind, but still able to get those temperatures in the upper 60s, near 70 as we finish off your afternoon. So beautiful course conditions for the Par 3 tournament tomorrow. Looking back from yesterday, we saw some much needed rainfall across the area. Areas along and north of I-20 saw in between 2 to 3+ inches of rainfall. Long Cane is in McCormick County. They came in at the top spot, just under 3.5 inches of rainfall. Again, much needed as we do have some levels of severe drought in those areas. But going back really quickly to some flood alerts that we have going on right now, Stevens Creek near Modoc, it rose up to about 25 feet today. Usually it's around 4 to 5 feet. These creeks can rise very rapidly though when we see heavy rain events like we saw yesterday. So there are some flood concerns though for areas along that corridor from Parksville, Modoc down through Clarks Hill. So definitely want to continue to watch that closely here the next couple of days, but no major rain in the forecast, so we should see these levels begin to come down gradually. Also near Little River, they have a flood warning there that goes through Friday for now, and also looking at this section of the Ogeechee River, so lining Washington County. So definitely still some flooding concerns in particular areas from that heavy rain that we saw yesterday, but thankfully we didn't see any widespread flooding from that. Looking at course conditions though, getting into tournament play, we'll look at temperatures in the 70s and 60s. Watching that chance for rainfall Friday, but again, it is going to line up more for our morning. Winds Friday and Saturday could be the only thing that maybe poses a little bit of a challenge to golfers out there, but that rain Friday really will just lead to maybe some wetter course conditions at most. Let's take a look at it though, getting into Friday morning. We're going to have a front moving in. You can see temperatures in the 50s and 60s, so a little bit warmer by then. But as we continue towards sunrise, that front is getting out of here pretty quickly, so more of a morning impact. By the afternoon, we're doing a lot better, and then we'll look at 80s coming back by next Monday.
All right, Mikel, you sound like a seismologist to me. That was good information on those earthquakes, especially coming in standing at 6'4". You a seismologist for sure.
Just some research. I can check behind me.
Good. We appreciate that. And as we head to break, here's a live